Hi, it's Over1975 and welcome to Elite Dangerous on the Xbox, and I thought I'd put that snippet at the start. So that was the end of our first fight, me and this IED guy that we had down at the recent Cargo CG, and this is the second fight, so this is round 2. He did want to go for a round 3, but I was like, no, I want to get back to piracy, because I know what IED are doing. IED's players try and keep us busy so we therefore don't harm people, is the way they see it. If they're fighting us, we're not robbing people. While I was enjoying having these 1v1s, I didn't want to spend all evening just battling the same guy over and over again. So I did get back to doing some piracy and having fun pirating the CG. And I gotta say, this CG was incredibly profitable for me. I got more cargo from this CG than I think the last 2 or 3 put together. So yeah, this one was really good. I got a lot of tonnage done. And really enjoyed myself. Completed the CG purely in stolen goods, which is great. I always love it when I can complete a CG with stolen goods. It just makes me, it's just hilarious. As to these fights, as we've discussed in the previous videos, phasing is just not going to cut it against me. DPS wise, it's not the best choice. This guy was definitely going to give it his all. His gimbaled bi-weave shielded Mamba did hold up pretty well. I mean, I melt the shields, but he has high thermal resistant shields on there. He's got a decent amount of shields, and I'm not going to stop his banks. So in a lot of ways, that ship's quite difficult for me to deal with. Plus, he has chaff, which is great against a gimbal scrub like me. But overall, it's it was one of those fights that I was fairly comfortable in, because I'm just in a higher DPS build. I've got enough armor to soak up the phasing. The fights were both closer than I thought they would be, but that's testament to the guy. Kept his damage, kept shooting, kept flying in, orbiting, battling, so fair play to him. And as an IED member, he did his job. He distracted me from piracy, which is what they look to do. So fair play. I thought I'd do him a nice little game of tile. There we go, a member of the IED, an Imperial Enforcement Division. Now apparently I'm always horrible about them and I only ever make negative videos about them, and 70% of my content is anti-IED content. It is quite funny because all the people who claim that don't play anymore, so it's just hilarious. So many people got angry at me over a couple of videos, and it's like, oh, okay. But most people don't mind if I do a video covering their faction. This is about the only faction that's ever gone to this length of complaining. But honestly, I do not dislike the guys over at IED. Always GG them. I don't dish out salt or send abuse. Even though they have claimed I'm the most toxic player on the game, I don't mind. It's just quite amusing. It's one of those claims that gets made and it's just like, oh, okay, whatever. But yeah, this was all GG's fun fight between 2 people hanging out at the CG. He was in the American instance, I was in the English instance, and I gotta say, the English instance seemed to be a lot more violent and filled full of gankers and pirates. I need to get a tank panda on more often so we can sneak across to that American instance and rob those Americans, because there's usually more of them than there is of the British guys. So, and also they're usually carrying a lot more cargo in greedier builds. They do run a lot of really greedy, shieldless cutters and things like that. So getting that American instance and rob some people, that's really what I want to do. But yeah, this was IED doing their job, sacrificing themselves to distract the bad guys from doing bad guy things and keeping the bad guys busy so they can't rob people at the CG. All well within the remit of what IED do and what IED feel they should be doing in game. Win or lose, if the IED guy has taken my time up and kept me busy, that's kind of a win for them. I'm happy to always accept a challenge and will always rock out for a 1v1. If someone challenges me, I'll just rock up, have a 1v1, and then go about my merry business of being a pirate. I'm not much of a 1v1 guy, I'm not much of a PvP guy, but if someone challenges you, it's only polite to turn up and fight it out. That's what I find anyway. And win or lose, you're always just going to get a GG from me, as I don't care if I win or lose, I'll be honest. I prefer to win, but like some of my best fights, some of my favourite fights have been very close losses. So no matter what happens, you're always going to get a GG from me, which is odd for some people because they get told I have this reputation for being the most toxic commander in the game, and yet they try their best to harvest salt and all they get is a GG. Someone posted this meme and another person said, "This just sums me up completely." But I'll let you guys judge. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think of this fight? It was hilarious that we ran this twice and it came up exactly the same result in different ways, like exactly the same hull. That is just freakish and a bit weird. It's like this ship is 32 hull better than that ship, and that's how it worked out. Both fights, same hull, same result. Very, very weird. And as I do the last bit of damage here, I do also do a check of my modules afterwards. So it was a good fun fight. GG this commander. I hope to run into him again soon, and hopefully maybe I can run into more IED, because we're missing those lawfuls. You don't see many of them these days. They're a bit of a rare thing. Anyway, that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below.